The Frigidaire stuff we see some of, not a lot. And of course, do see a fair bit of the Whirlpool.
So you guys see any Miele or Viking Sub-Zero?
I did one Sub-Zero where I replaced a leaky Schrader valve 2 weeks ago. It was Sub-Zero, was it 500 or 600 F? But other than that, I haven't seen any other Sub-Zeros. I've never seen a Miele. There is one Thermador gas range in the same residence as the Sub-Zeros. It's actually a lawyer's cottage. No, that's about it. We don't see a lot of the high-end stuff, or at least I don't.
Yeah, I installed a Miele wall oven, worked on the coffee maker, and dealt with the Sub-Zero fridge. I see a lot of that. I mean, because of, like I said, I'm in South Florida, so you go from, Manna to Aga.
We don't see a lot of the Amana stuff either. I have been seeing more and more GE here lately. The GE with the top load washers that ends up with the GE with the top load that ends up with the pressure port clogged, and I've actually had about 3 of those in the last week.
I haven't had any of those yet. How about microwaves? Do you see a lot of microwaves?
I don't deal in microwaves at all.
Yeah.
Microwave that I've seen, we can usually replace for $100, $150. I haven't dealt with any built-ins.
Yeah. Yeah, the Miele wall oven that I put in was actually a speed oven, and
Yes.
she was replacing the. She had some type of Magic Chef convection / microwave, and so she replaced that with that. Yeah, I got one to look at tomorrow. I'm so thrilled to go look at this microwave. I got to do some homework because I don't deal with them enough. I got one where the power's not coming on, and it's going to be interesting.
Are you guys dealing with any of the LG service at all, the LG refrigerators?
Yeah, I do a lot of the compressors.
How is LG to deal with? Because I thought about signing up with them.
I heard it's an extremely long process. I've just been dealing with customers directly. I have one warranty through Warrantech. That was because Warrantech works with a company by the name of Brandsmart here. Mm-hmm. I had to do one like that, and then I have some other ones outside that I've done.
I had a a few weeks ago that it had an inefficient compressor, and I actually called Marcone, and I looked up the part number, and they told me what it was going to cost. It's going to be fairly expensive, but then they refused to sell it to me because I'm not an LG servicer. They're telling me that they're getting word from LG to refuse to sell compressors to anybody who's not one of their warranty techs.
Well, Alex, is this recorded?
We are now, yes. Yeah.
Oh, well, I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it now.
Well,
But again, they don't keep a very good stock. And I think they aren't favorable to Outer Island. So they usually just keep stuff and deal with people that are on their island. So, yeah, it's not really realistic for some of the parts or for some of the stuff. So
yeah, the actual LG update jig in Canada costs almost $600.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
I'm actually gonna have one shipped in from the state just to have, because I'm pretty sure you guys are getting them for what, $75?
Yeah, man. My stuff comes with that's interesting, because I'm telling you, like, I just put the last compressor I can't put in, compressor, the flash drive, all that came with it. Boom, boom. Okay. And it was $295. And then I have a relationship with Marcone where I just take a picture, and they refund me. It's warranty. You know what I mean? But that's what I mean about knowing the system.
Yeah.
I buy so much from them, I just, like I said, I called them directly and said, what is this process? And they said that you don't even have to return the part, just take a picture.
Yeah, well, they don't want to buy stuff back because at this point it's all just scrap metal to them fellas.
Cool. So
Yeah.
why don't we go ahead and kick things off?
Okay.
We have some people that may be joining, but yeah, let's go ahead and so I'm recording now. I know we've been chatting a little bit, but let's kind of formally go around the table, so to speak, and kick things off. So I think that what we'll do is really briefly, we can just like go around, we'll share our name. What is our company name? What services do or don't you offer? If there's any particular niche or anything like that. What area do you serve? And if you have anything on top of mind, it sounds like there is, something that you'd like to discuss tonight, and I'll jot it down and make sure that we jump on there. I'll go ahead and kick things off. I'm Alex Tiberi. I'm the host and moderator of these weekly calls. My company is App Digital. It is a marketing company. I help appliance repair companies with lead generation. The area that I serve is nationwide, USA. I am not currently doing anything in Canada or any other parts of North America. And then something that I'd love to hear from you guys, which are things that I've been seeing with some of the folks that I work with, is kind of like lead time. When are you scheduling out? But yeah, why don't we just go ahead and just kind of go popcorn style, your name, your company, what you do or don't service, area you serve, and something you want to tackle tonight.
All right. Well, my name is Rochelle. My company is, I signed in differently so it doesn't show up. That shows you I'm truly sleepwalking. So my company is Laser Appliance Repair. I'm based in South Florida, headquartered in Fort Lauderdale. And I service everything from Miami or Dade County up to what's called the Treasure Coast, which would be Vero Beach, Boynton Beach, Delray, West Palm Beach, just basically everything on this side. And I'm new to the game, but I'm always about processes and systems and implementing what I can do to be better. Right now my focus is on diagnosing properly the first time, using all the latest technology and tools to do so. And, and I'm really big on key performance indicators. So I do everything from, I have a little YouTube channel, and I started that channel because people used to ask me 900 million questions. And I really didn't have the time to have those conversations because we're all in different areas of development. You know what I mean? So I wanted to do the channel to kind of, so people could get some insight into my psyche and how I structured a business and how I'm growing it. That's a little bit about me.
Thanks. Hey, Rochelle, what is your YouTube channel in case somebody wanted to check that out?
It's Solid Steps to Wealth.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Which oddly has nothing in some people's mind to do with appliance repair, but this guy by the name of JT Hustle labeled me the queen of appliance repair. I'm definitely not comfortable with that title, but I think it's just that my hustle is epic. You know what I mean? So, but that comes from a place. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
Business is business, whether it's appliance repair, digital marketing, something totally different. And, processes, KPIs, those things cross the different industries.
Yeah.
Josh, you want to kind of give a little intro?
Yeah, my name is Josh Wombolt. I own Wombolt's Appliance. We've been in operation now for, I think, about 2.5 years. This is actually still just a side gig for me. I'm still working full time. I'm actually at work in my office right now. We service pretty much anything except for gas appliances and RV stuff, just mainly because I don't have the training for it yet, and our technician status around here is a bit different. But washers, dryers is where I got my start into this. I started out just doing refurbished sales, and from there I started getting phone calls off the cuff, and it's kind of expanded from there. Just lately here, we've been getting into sealed system work. My background actually comes from industrial refrigeration, which is where I'm in now, which is a large-scale ammonia refrigeration plant. What else? I'm usually working 2 or 3 days a week right now, and we're quite busy as compared to what we were prior to the coronavirus up here. It's almost like everybody was home and they realized that everything was broke or stuff was breaking. It's really good for us.
Yeah, definitely. Josh, I know you're in Canada. What area of Canada do you serve?
Southwest Nova Scotia.
Cool.
I'm actually pretty much as far east as you can get. If I walk out the office here, I can show you the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, man.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Nice. Speaking of the oceans, let's bring it over to the Pacific Ocean. And I'm sorry, I don't have your name. It's showing it's A+ Appliance. You want to share a name, company name, what you're focusing on, area you serve, and anything you'd like to tackle tonight?
Yeah, so my company's name is A+ Appliance Repair, LLC. My name is Rashima. Kind of like Josh, I do it part-time. I have a full-time gig. I'm actually located on the Big Island of Hawaii. I'm fairly new company, and that's just about it.
Cool. Cool. Welcome, Bobby. We were just getting kicked off with kind of some introductions. We're doing a roundtable style. And if you didn't mind real quickly, just sharing who you are, your company name, any particular service offerings you do or don't do, where you're located, and if you wanted to tackle anything tonight, let me know, and I'll jot it down and make sure we chat about it. Oh, let me unmute you. We're not able to hear you, Bobby. There you go.
Hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Bobby. I'm a lead technician, part owner of KPIs Appliance. We have a couple different locations. I just launched the St. Louis location April 1st of this year. Being a lead tech, I do everything sealed system to dishwashers, which I hate doing. Way.
Cool, man. So yeah, I've been jotting some things down while we were kind of chatting ahead of time, and yeah, I mean, it's just like free style. Please try to be conscientious of other folks, and not take up too much mic time or anything like that. But something that I've been hearing and seeing a lot of is how busy everybody is. And I'm curious if what your guys' experience is with, like, how far are you scheduling out? Is this affecting, are you losing business because you're not able to schedule soon enough? What do things look like for you guys, and how are you dealing with that?
I'm scheduling a week to a week and a half out right now. I've got a couple of front load washers that I can't seem to convince people to replace instead of fix. So we're scheduling those out, more or less just waiting for lead time on parts. Other than that, we've got a couple of bigger jobs this week just to fill up the week. Clients and stuff like that. I've got a compressor swap to do on Tuesday. As for losing business, I don't think I've had to turn down anything, or I've had anybody wait and say that it was going to wait too long. I did have a customer call that I've known for quite some time, and he wanted me to order a pump for him. He was just going to put it in himself, and he wasn't happy with the lead time that I gave him of 4 days or whatever. He was just going to drive to the city and pick up the part himself. I don't really understand what that was about.
A lot of I see this commonly all the time. Do you guys know what your PPC is? Your profit per call ratio. If your profit per call ratio, let's say, is if you're doing warranty work, it's going to be really shitty because of the multiple trips. You could be looking at $60 to $75 per trip. If you're a pure COD, your PPC can be $185, $250 per call. The fact that you're booking out 4 or 5 in a week and a half, on front load washers where you're your profit ratio on that, because you got to look at, per trip and then divide it by 2 as far as your profit. If you can get it done the second trip, you're only going to be making $100 to $125, and you're booking out 2 time slots for that, where you can be locking in a refrigerator or a dryer call that you got parts on truck, and you can generate $185 to $250, on that one call. When I get calls like that, tell them, show them. If they don't like, what the part that you're showing them, then show them the price of a new unit. Here, this is what it's going to be. You're looking at $350 with parts. A brand new one's $550. If you want my opinion, go buy a new one. You'll be happier in the long run. Customers will appreciate your honesty. Your PPC, you collect your service call fee and bounce, and make on with your day. You're able to run more calls per day this way. Your PPC goes up, and you generate more money per week because you're not turning away business. You're also generating customers for life because of your honesty. So, certain ways when you go about things, it depends. You're willing to give away these calls that are going to be nothing but a pain in the ass to you. If you're going to be sitting there doing, 2 and 3 trips out there, and you're only going to be making $125, you might as well be banging your head against the wall.
Yeah. I agree with that. That's the PPC is part of my key performance indicators that I use, because my whole focus with my company from the beginning was accurate diagnostic, pre-diagnosis, because I'm trying to cut down on as much time as possible. As far as I want to be able to show it what it needs. I gauge the clientele. I have a process I use. And I only deal with a certain clientele because I just don't have time. I'm in South Florida. It's just a very interesting market, to say the least. Never a dull moment.
What kind of luck do you guys have with selling those higher end jobs? Like I have no problem selling lower end jobs, but I have a dang hard problem selling like higher end compressor jobs and stuff along that. Around here, people seem to be more liable to just replace the unit as opposed to repair.
People that sell Mercedes, versus people that sell Cavaliers, they have different tactics. When you go into a high-end unit, if we talk about a Sub-Zero, a $12,000 refrigerator, $12,000. All right, so the evaporator is going to cost you $170. The heat exchanger is going to cost you, $120. The dryer filter is $56, and the compressor is going to be, $440. They're looking at $800, parts, total or whatever. Your sealed system labor is going to be $750. Your service call fee is going to be $75. Your sealed system kit for your refrigerant, your recovery, and everything else is going to be $105. However you guys do your billing. So you're talking about $1,700. Mm-hmm. Going to this customer's house, and you're going to be like, look, this is going to take me 3 hours. You're looking at $1,750. That's not even 10% or just over 10% what the value of this refrigerator is. If they don't want that, and they want to buy a $2,000 refrigerator in place of a $12,000, refrigerator.
You're not going to fuck that.
That's their logic. But you're presenting numbers to them, and you're leading them down a path before they even know it. You're presenting, hey, nice fridge. This is a $12,000 piece of gear. Oh man, how long have you had it? It's been running good. Prior to that, you're building up the punchline. You're building confidence in that appliance while you're talking with the customer. Do you like it? Is it something that it's dependable? Do your friends comment on it? And this is what people they grow attached to that, and they want that attachment, especially the fact that they don't have to spend $12,000 to replace it. They will gladly give you $1,750, and then when they sign on the credit card, they'll even throw you a $90 tip. So then on that call that you made, $950 on, divide that by 3 hours, your PPC on that ratio is over $335 a call ratio. So certain things, it just really depends. Now, if you're not a field system tech and you're just a laundry, cook and dish, tech, there's a difference. You're in a whole different market. your PPC is going to be based on, you know, yours is more going to be like, you know, profit per day, because how many calls can you run? And then at that point, you're looking at logistics versus volume. Because dishwashers, you can't make a lot of money on. So you got
dishwashers. I don't even like to work on because the profit is so low on the people's willingness to spend money. $200 on a dishwasher is pretty rare around here.
Right. Well, I mean, unless it's a Miele or a Bosch or a high-end, you know, unit. How I do my estimates is pretty systematic. I will pull up Reliable Parts, for example, and I will show them the part. Here's what it is, reliableparts.com. There's your part. Let them see it. You instantly build confidence with that customer because you're showing them, here's the price. It's not a number I'm making up in my head. Your service call is this, your part is that, here's your shipping, here's your tax, here's your labor. Your estimates are not systematic. Your profit is a generated bill that comes naturally. Your billing's transparent with the customer. That's what they like. They don't want to hear you make up a number in your head and sit there and go all the time. They want to see, you know, they want to see proof. They want to see confidence. I'll show the customer, here's your problem. Here's a open heater on the dryer. Let's look that part up. That part's $58. You know, I buy wholesale, I sell retail. And that's just the market. They don't need to know what I pay for that part. What they need to know is what I'm charging them for, and there's the price that shows the exact to the penny, you know, what I'm doing. So I make a profit on the part, I make a profit on the labor, I make a profit on the service call. But this is all how you build and you generate, you know, a clientele base. You know, and this is how you get word of mouth. And you did one call in this neighborhood, and 2 weeks later, you got 2 more over in that neighborhood because you impressed the hell out of that customer. This is how you build a social platform.
I'm taking notes. You know, Rochelle was talking about, you know, processes, KPIs. I'm curious, and we're talking about the profit per call KPI. Rochelle or Bobby or anybody that is paying attention to KPIs, key performance indicators, what are some other ones that are really important to you guys?
Your quality of
biggest deal is, go ahead, Bobby.
I came from Sam's. What we look at is LTP, which is length of time per ticket. So if you have a ticket that you close out, and how many day one, you know, completes that you get per day versus how many calls that you have that are sitting 14 days out. I guarantee you the ones that are going to be done inside of 1 day, you're going to have happy customers. You got a customer that's waiting 2 weeks, and then you show up with the wrong part, you're going to have a pissed off customer. I mean, so that LTP is going to have a real big effect on pretty much the image of your company. I mean, if more than half your calls are dragging out because you don't carry stock parts, or half your parts are, you know, the wrong ones or damaged, or you got the wrong one, you didn't diagnose it right. That LTP, getting that number down as low as you possibly can, it's going to be major. So, I mean, the 2 ways to track it, you can look at, you know, what your day one completes are, you know, for that week, or you can look at, you know, like, and try to track every single one of your tickets, you know, for long-term pending tickets. But it just depends on how much, you know, data analysis that you're doing in your own company.
Yeah, this is true. The key performance that I use is, I believe in incremental, I believe in being adaptable and flexible. And I feel that if you're really paying attention to your business and structuring it accordingly, and making sure that you have the right employee on the right job with the right support. Like, I have some guys, I can put them on something and I know exactly. I understand their skill set. I understand what they can do in a short period of time with no comeback or recall. Those are the things I monitor because I am profit driven first. And because I'm profit driven, when I approach a customer, I have extreme confidence when it comes to a sale because I don't sell from my pocket, I sell from theirs. I think I'm intimidated because they may, in their own mindset or thought process, think something's too much. Like, for instance, the seller I worked on, and the lady had that particular, she lives on the beach in Florida, and she had that Sub-Zero. A crane lifted it, she had it lifted into her home to be installed. This is the same young lady that I installed the Miele wall oven in and the Miele coffee maker. So when you're dealing with a certain type of clientele, you have to have confidence. So for me, I like to know my products. I like to know how they work, and I how to fix them when they break, so I can be confident. You know, people buy from confident people. Number one. Number two, when in my particular market, we have a lot of people who have skill sets, and one skill set that I noticed it seems to be non-existent is no professionalism. You know, they make commitments to a customer, don't keep them, and they really make it really good for me because I'm new to the game. I come from the automotive industry, so I come in with a whole different skill set. Over every ticket, I look and see how it could be better. Where do we lose profit? Where do we win? What area can we improve in? And that's my whole focus. Right now, I'm in the field, running with my technicians, making sure things are done properly because I'm anal about the customer experience. In Florida, it's never about money. It's about how your relationship with the customer. And then you have to be able to size up that customer before you even work in that environment and be able to morph into what experience they want to have. Like today, I went out, I dealt with a gentleman that's a VP of some international company, and he lives down in Key Biscayne. And he had a simple issue with a dryer. Go in and, use this to thermal fuse, blah, blah, blah. It was something minor like a door switch. Went in, had the part on hand, knocked out the door switch, showed him the vent, did a dry vent cleaning. We're talking, whatever's going on in the world. Where he's European, so he has his own viewpoint. So as I'm working, we're talking. I mean, and I left there and I had an extremely profitable ticket and a huge tip. I made a Sunday call, and I happen to own the company because I give my staff off on the weekends. I work the weekends, but that's how I manage. But that's all I have to say. I'm my
Nice. I dropped a book recommendation based on something that you were saying last week, Rochelle, and I'm going to drop another one. You were talking about how you're looking at your KPIs and you're really focusing on that profit margin. And if anybody's interested in that kind of approach where you're really paying attention to your profit, it's a book called Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. And it gets as into like the way to even structure your bank accounts and how you're depositing into certain accounts so that you're setting aside your profit first before you're setting aside your other expenses and whatnot. There's a lot more to it, but if anyone's interested, book is called Profit First. Bobby was talking about the LGP KPI, the length of time per ticket, and how one of the things that influences a longer LGP is sourcing parts. And I know that earlier, both Josh and one other person here was talking about some challenges that they were having with sourcing parts. Anybody, feel free to, if you've had any other challenges with sourcing parts or any things that might help, any tips for those that are having challenges to help with sourcing parts. It sounds like that's something that's pretty important to being able to get your LGP down and therefore having those happy customers.
The one that, which one is in Hawaii? I don't know what kind of distributor you're going to have there because you're not landlocked by any means. So everything for you is going to have to be shipped probably, unless you carry a really hefty, truck stock. But for everybody else, who are you using as far as your distributors beside the manufacturer?
I started
Please,
out
Robert,
using
let me
Reliable
work.
just because they were the closest, but here recently I switched to Marcone. The prices seem to be a bit better, although I do usually have an extra day to 2 time. But the way I'm working with being part-time at this anyway, I usually have about a couple of days time anyway in between my shifts here and when I get back out.
So what kind of part volume are you guys doing per month with your distributors? Do you know this?
Not right offhand, no.
That's going to be big. Talk with your distributors and, talk with them. Ask who is your account manager. Like a prime example, my account managers are wanting to take me to different places and, I get gift cards and everything else. I'm doing about 10,000 per location per month. So with these type of part volume, when you get to that certain level, you're no longer, what's the word I'm looking for, starting out. You're not one of their, bottom accounts. You're a more worthy account. You're bringing in a lot of, income to that distributor. Their opinion of your opinion of them, really matters. With Marcone, I get flat shipping. I get price matching. I get, they want me to source everything through them instead of going to their competitors. And I'll tell them, I'm like, I don't care what it costs. I care how fast you can get it to me. That's my big concern. Because in the end, if I can tell a customer I can have it here in 2 days or versus I can have it here in 8 days, my customers are happier with me. And if I tell my customer, hey, it's $12 more to have it second day aired. What 90 of the 100 customers that you ask that question to, they're already paying for the repair. If you give them an opportunity to pay $10 more to have the repair done in 50% of the time, 90% of the time, you're going to hear a customer say, yeah, I don't care about the $10. Get it done. So second day air your parts. Get them there quick. Show the customer a fast turnaround time. What that's going to do is that's going to, free up your call volume, your part stock, your inventory, your tracking system, everything, because you're down quicker. Get it in, get it out. Don't sit on it. You're going to have these customers, much happier with your company, which is going to reflect in your GMV, which is going to give you more reviews. More reviews gives you a better company image. More people will call you.
Facts. So I have a question. Bobby, I heard you say that you came from Samsung.
Mhm.
Are you familiar with Samsung? So what is the process? Because I'm a new company and I'm going to get the Samsung certified, so I can be an authorized Samsung person.
ASC or a BE.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I want to do the same thing with LG. I heard LG is a long process. I don't care about the link. I just want to make sure I can get in the door because of what my goals are.
there can be they're gonna aid your business and see if it's something that you can handle their value. The second thing they're gonna look at is how many other businesses in your area are already authorized by them.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if there's already 5 that are in your service area and you want to join into it too, it's just more paperwork for them. They're going to be like, I have to send some here, I have to send some there. Like anything else, simplicity is king. I mean, they're going to want one company that can handle everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's going to be less problems on their side of it. And if you don't have great reviews, if you don't have, the clientele or the volume, if you can't pump out, 250 calls a week. I mean, you understand like how many products these people own and how many are calling up these manufacturers every week. They want someplace to be right there every single time. And if you're already up to your neck in COD work, taking on warranty work is just going to put you even farther behind the ball because it's going to be less money. I mean, you're going to be doing a contracted bid for $100 a call.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do warranty. No. Let me rephrase what I was asking, because I'm not a warranty friend. See, the reason I don't like warranty because a warranty reminds me of a job like which is just over broke. They control your labor. I can't. I don't operate like that. I run a profit. This is the United States of America. I'm about profit and I'm a capitalist. It'll be okay. So I am not interested in that other piece. What I need to know is I want to be able to I want to make sure I'm getting all the Samsung training I need to. Of course, they have the best tech sheets, they have the best troubleshooting, they have all that wonderful, stuff. So I just want to make sure that I am up to speed because their products are going to dominate the market. Period. That end. I'm clear
It,
about that. If they dominate my market,
that's one of the things where you're going to authorized servicer, you're going to do warranty work. Because you're doing their warranty work, you're factory trained. You're going to come with that little, branded engineer, label that comes behind it, and the authorized service center, that stands behind it. It's one of those you can't really not do their work and not be a part of them, but go on their inside loop and get their training and get their, STG, their Samsung Tech Guide or their Haas, software and be able to diagnose their products. And that's all done in-house. So it's one of those, it's kind of hard to, I want all of their training, but I don't want to deal with any of their headache. They're not really going to want to fly like that.
so it's not something you can purchase. In other words, you have to be in-house. Okay.
From my side of the fence, I can't, I don't really know. I mean, when they have their training classes, I'm sure you can pay to go to their class, but you're not going to get a choice of, hey, train me on this. This is what I need help on. You're going to get, here's our 2020 lineup. Here's the features it does. Here's how you operate it. Here's some problems that we saw, during, 10,000 hour simulations. Here's how you take it apart.
Kind of sounds like
Okay.
you're saying,
Well,
Bobby, that if it's really dominating your market and you're wanting to get into it, maybe almost making like a offshoot or a different division of your profit company devoted to them, and almost make it like a twofer. Like it's good for you as a whole company, Ms. Ward, but then it's not kind of driving into your bottom line, all right?
Yeah, because
yeah. Well, yeah.
COD work from it. I mean, when someone has their refrigerator and it's 5 years old, and that little model number tag on the inside door that says call 1-800 Samsung for service, they're not going to call Billy Joe Bob, in their area. They're going to call, well, we have one of our certified company, our authorized service centers, here in your area. Here's the number. Call them. They'll be able to take care of you. So you will get some COD work out of it, and you will get some profit, from it as well. But you're also going to be under the microscope. I mean, you're going to be a worldwide competitor. They want to look at how fast you can get it done. What's your percentage of repairs versus your recall rate? How long is it taking you to do? And what's the customer's overall experience with dealing with you?
Yeah, well, I've been exposed because I do Service Power, I work with Warren Tech, I work with Cinch. So I've been really exposed because, I mean, those customers have their products. Now on the COD side, because I work with Lowe's and Home Depot, I'm also exposed. And I've had customers call me and I've been very honest with them. Like I had a lady call me, I was like, ma'am, you may want to reach out to Samsung because this should be covered under warranty. And a lot of people don't even want to do it. Like, I'm like, just go to the chat. Like I talked to a guy the other day with a dishwasher. I went out and the infamous dead board, and it had the sub board issue too. So I explained to him, I said, go on, use the chat and communicate with Samsung. And, a lot of times these customers just end up calling me back. I go out and do the work and they just pay. So I don't really, I just want to make sure I have, because Bobby, my whole problem is I come from the automotive world. And because I'm a master tech on the automotive side, I'm used to being able to grab my Snap-on stuff, download my software, You follow me? It's a different dynamic. Just like it irks me that I can't go get the tool for General Electric because I'm not, you know how they got the plug in, like how we have in automotive where you can plug in, scan, diag. It irks me that I can't do that on the side.
With Samsung, that's called a Haas. That's one of their softwares they have, which is the same thing. You can plug up to it, and you can actually have an interface between that appliance.
Yeah.
I mean, look at my side of it. You know, in 2018, I was the #1 Samsung tech in the country for LTP. But now I'm an owner of my own partnership with our company. I can't even look up Samsung anymore.
Mm-mm.
That's how it rolls. You know, that's the way it. Now I still have everything I know from that, and most of the ones I can go through. Yeah, I know how to find that information. But there's different avenues to be able to get that information besides having to go directly through Samsung. Some of those are Appliancetology. There's a couple of other sites out there that actually, you know, have that information and that service, you know, available. Now, software wise, no, you got to play ball to get the ball.
Yeah, I live for Appliancetology all day. Every job I go to, I download what I need, my schematics, I go through the process and the scenarios because, like I said, I'm just trying to transfer that mindset of accurate diagnosis, you know, plug and play.
So what's your average call time doing all that work, you know, per call?
Well, basically, my average call time is roughly 48 hours, if I have to go out for parts, because where I live, there are 3 Marcones, and they're reliable. I'm in South Florida, so every part house is open all the time.
How long does it take you? So the minute you get out of the truck to the minute you get back in the truck.
Like today, I had the part in hand job took me maybe about, with the dry vent cleaning, maybe about an hour and 15 minutes. I mean, the doggone door switch, you know, first the diag took me 15 minutes because if the dryer's not working, and then first thing we do is we check the power, make sure we got 240, right? We go from that, then we check and make sure the power's going directly to the plug-in. Then you check all the fuses, you know, you go through the process. How long does that take? And then you check, you go through all that, you check the push button start and the timer, and you roll your butt around, and there it is. I mean, what I really should have did was open the damn door first and looked at the broken damn switch. But see, that's gonna come with time and experience. But the key is, you know, I'm charging for a service fee, so I really can't like hit them in the head, open the door switch and be like, oh, this is what you need, now pay me. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it worked out well. I had added there.
If I'm going right into it, the first thing I'm doing as I'm, you know, walking back to the unit is I'm talking with the customer. You know, when I get in front of the dryer, the first thing I do is I open the door and I will hold the switch down, so basically simulating a door closure, and hit the start button. Right there, I've already nailed it in half. So I can pretty much determine, do I hear a click? You know, you can actually, you know, push the drum. Is the belt connected? You know, it type of symptoms. From there, now pull out the dryer and then check check. Some of the things you can narrow down it, you know, pretty quick. Just, you know, like you were saying with experience. But if you're downloading the schematics, pulling schematics, talking with the customer, doing the diagnostic, doing the repair.
No, I do that, Bobby. I do that before I get there. I walk in with schematics on my Surface or my iPad. I have that stuff when I walk through the door. I prep, you know, so that I can still have a cordial or articulate conversation with the customer, put them at ease. You know how they are. Either some will sit there and hang over your shoulder like they, you know, your assistant or apprentice. So you got some that once they feel like you're good, they walk away and let you do what you do. To me, those are the 2 type of customers I deal with.
Yeah, no, I always tell them, you know, with the social distance, be, you know, not a problem. I'll go through this. I will call you when I'm ready for you. You know, and you tell them, you know, I wear a mask in the home, so you're honest with them. I'm trying to protect your home as well as trying to protect mine. Don't be over my shoulder.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. So, Bobby, what do you guys see a lot of? Do you guys see it? You're in the Midwest, so don't you see like Electrolux and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yes.
had an Electrolux yesterday.
Yeah. So, my, I answer the phones. And I have two other partners, so we all kind of, equally commit, and contribute to, like the process of our daily function. But my St. Louis division here, I answer the phones. I, predict my routes and what they're going to be, and I try to run 6 to 10 calls a day. If I make, my gross on that day may be, anywhere from 2,000 per day.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what the goal is, period. So what do you use for your appointments or you're setting do you use House Call Pro or what do you use?
With CD software, I've used, a couple other different softwares. Currently
Okay.
with Appliance, I use WorkEase. And it functions fine. It costs me $50 a month.
And what was
So
that
what
called?
does WorkEase and what does WorkEase cover? Because I know that there are some softwares that'll go from, scheduling all the way to inventory and invoicing.
Yeah.
What are the things that you use WorkEase for?
WorkEase, you pay $50 per technician, pretty much. So this area would cost me $50 because I've only had this area open now for about 2 months. Together as a company, I think I'm paying $250 a month for it right now, so somewhere in that margin. But it handles my stock inventory for my trucks. It handles my mapping for my route. Handles my customer service, as well as the invoicing, and I can even put links on there for reviews. So it's a pretty easy software. I can put it on any phone, or I can launch it directly from the web if I like, depending on the version. If I using an iPad or a cell phone or a laptop. So we're pretty happy with it.
Cool. So we're coming up to the top of the hour. I think we'll go ahead and wrap up for this week. I will get the recording of this call posted up in a comment to the Facebook post. I'll get that up within a day or so. And I'll be right back here same time next week. Hope to see y'all join us next week. And yeah, I appreciate all your time. And this is some great information. Anything anyone wants to close with, or you want to make sure that we tackle a certain topic next week? Now's the time.
How are you guys generating your leads?
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk lead generation next week.
The big white
I
elephant.
like that topic.
Right. I know you. White elephant, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of things. So yeah, I'll do a little homework. I'll come to the call with kind of what I've been capturing, chatting with folks in these groups, and let's start off with lead generation next week, and I hope to see all 4 of you guys here next week, and even some more. And these calls are as valuable as we make it. So again, thank you guys for showing up and contributing.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Everybody have a great week. Be safe.
All right, thank you.
Later, guys.
You too.
All right, guys, take care.